Cadbury shares hit a record today amid speculation about potential bids from Nestle and Hershey and the possibility of a higher offer from Kraft. For more on this, we partnered with Financial Times to bring you Lex on Bloomberg so you can get a sneak peek at the FT's flagship column a day early. Neil Buckley joins us from London this morning. Neil, a lot of excitement about the potential for another offer from Kraft possibly, or Hershey, or even Nestle. What are you hearing?
Well, as you say, there's really the scent of chocolate hanging over the markets this morning. And the reason is we had a key piece of news over the weekend, which is that the charitable trust that controls Hershey in the US is backing the idea of a bid. Now, that's important because that had been one of the potential obstacles to a bid, was opposition from the trust. We've also had reports that Nestle is examining its options, but no confirmation of those so far. But both of those things have pushed Cadbury shares up to a record this morning.
Okay, so Neil, based on what you know, based on what you're hearing, how likely is it that we see Hershey move ahead with a bid and possibly even Nestle come in?
I think it's a little bit more likely than it appeared in the middle of last week when this Hershey speculation first started, but it would still be a real stretch. The weekend reports have suggested Hershey's bid, or Hershey's thinking of a bid, which would involve about $10 billion of cash, then $2 billion of new equity, and about another $5 billion from big investors who would be given Hershey shares. But even that would only take it to about the same level that Kraft has already offered. Now, Hershey could trade on the fact that it will be offering more cash, but it looks unlikely that they could make a bid which will be big enough to top Kraft.
Now, is that to say, then, that it might ultimately be Kraft versus Nestle, two big heavyweights who have a little more financial muscle?
It's difficult to say. Hershey has some other options. It could raise more equity, for example, to try and raise an even higher bid. But then the trust might lose control, which it doesn't want to do, and it would also have to get permission from the Pennsylvania Attorney General to do that. So a possible tie-up with Nestle or with Ferrero of Italy, which we've heard is also looking, those remain options, but they are only options. So we have to wait and see. The possibility of a bidding war looks a bit more likely today than it did last week, but it's still only a possibility at this stage.
Well, as the shares indicate, Neil, investors are certainly excited about the prospect of a bidding war. That is Neil Buckley reporting for us from the FT's Lex desk over in London.